Well, not from here, it doesn't. I'm not controlling this now, am I?
No, it just looks like it's all for you.
Why?
James has changed the setup behind the camera.
Look, we're here.
It's all pointing at him.
But to them it looks exactly the same.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
no, you won't notice
They won't
any
notice the difference.
difference.
Exactly, it's just stroking something. Popcorn Pundits.
Podcast
Week 51.
51.
Chicken.
We need to kind of basically it's like the cinema gods knew that next week was our 1 year anniversary and decided to put on no films for week 51.
Oh, I don't know. There's a couple of films on.
Well, I couldn't see anything.
Really?
Yeah, so
We will talk about that later.
oh wow, that's me put in my place.
Well, but you're getting ahead of yourself because you talk about next week's films already.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking
Sorry.
about this week's film?
Well, I was, but
You
now
mean
I'm not.
You
No,
didn't watch the Victoria's Secrets fashion show?
I didn't say I didn't watch that.
It's not a
This is
film.
where James is supposed to scream out, "Oh, you already."
Not a
He's on
film.
it today, isn't he?
I
He's like
know.
actually ahead of the curve. He is
Peter
the curve.
McPete. This is your Popcorn Pundits. We are a trio of cinema lovers. We like to encourage you to explore the boundaries of cinema making, whether it be at home or at the cinema, particularly at the cinema if possible. But if you can't make it to the big silver screen, we encourage you to open your mind to beautiful things coming out of your box.
What box? No, that's the wrong thing. That's your business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a television box.
Oh, okay, fine, got you.
You with me?
Yeah. Now I'm with you.
Exactly.
Okay.
We've got Nikky Smart. We have got Peter James Unger. And we've got James Michael Mulcrone sitting at the helm of this fantastic Popcorn Pundit ship.
Wow.
It's good, isn't it?
I'm just going to do. I'm going to let him
What did
do.
you put in that build?
I don't know. I'm going to let him do everything.
No idea.
Yeah,
It
he's
just fell out of me.
He sat back and
He hasn't
relaxed.
even made up a word yet. This
I'm
is.
spent now.
How's Sheila in the bath?
Sheila and your buff is really well, thank you. Peter, would you like... So at the start of the programme, we'd like to give a top 10 rundown of what's going on in the UK charts at the cinema. Then we'd like to give an insight of what films we've seen at the cinema. Peter likes to reflect on what homework I've given him. And then we get excited and giddy about what's going on with next week's cinema releases. Peter James Unger, would you like to let us know what's going on with the top 10 at the moment?
Yeah, I also heard someone say Shia LaBeouf's name this week,
Did you?
and they did say Shelley Buff,
Yes! See?
and I was
Did you step in and go,
when it was someone whose voice was recorded, and I heard it, and I went, "Excuse me," Shelley Buff, and I was just like, "Oh, there we go. Maybe
maybe there's a
He's
thing.
onto something.
Maybe there's something in the water.
number 10." Actually, where are we starting with this, Nikki?
No, you can start at number 10.
Okay, number 10, The Outrun.
This is a film that you keep promising to watch.
I wanted to go and see it, and
Yes.
I had 3 evenings
He's
where I
got a
could go
story.
and see it. Not much of a story.
Okay.
It was only available at 1:30 in the afternoon.
I know, do you not hate it when they do that?
And I wasn't available at 1:30 in the afternoon. So again, I've
So you
not
rang
been
the
able
cinema
to...
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, so I couldn't see that. I'm really sorry because it does actually look very good.
It
and I
does
would
look
like to
very,
see
very
it.
good.
it does actually.
Yes.
Number 9, Speak No Evil,
Yes.
the film of subjective reviews.
Absolutely.
Number 8, The Substance, the film of not subjective reviews.
Absolutely.
It's-
Can I just interrupt you just slightly?
wait,
It's too late now because I've done it already.
Sure.
There's been revealed some new screen images of The Substance with a reflection to another film, and I didn't clock it at all. Which is Psycho. The scene in the shower, the scene in the water, the scene where Demi Moore's face is on the floor of the bathroom. It's a direct reference to a
Is
Psycho.
it now?
A direct reference. It's beautiful. Anyway, that's number 8.
Shower scenes were pretty good, weren't they?
They were very good.
Number 7, Buffalo Kids. Nikki?
That is the Warner Brothers one, animated. Arriving in New York City in 1886, 2 orphan siblings embark on a wild cross-country journey aboard a transcontinental train.
I'm glad you said train.
Number 6. Now you saw this, didn't you?
Number 6, Salem's Lot. I will be reviewing that after this top 10.
Okay, so I didn't go and see that this week
Why is that? Then?
because I didn't want to. And that's all I've got.
I appreciate your honesty.
That's
Peter.
all. That's all I've got on
After
that one.
50 weeks,
I'm
you've got
sorry.
to that level with me.
I'm just kind of trying to cause a little bit of a break because number 5 is Vetayan.
Do you know what? I'm always impressed with your ability to be able to pronounce things
Well, I'll
correctly.
always give it a go, and that is one potential way that could be pronounced.
Oh, don't ask me, because I mean...
I'm not asking you. I'm
No.
just telling you that's one. I'm telling you that's one potential way that could be pronounced.
Right, talking about pronouncing things in unusual ways, what's number 4?
Beetleheath.
Yes. Are we happy with that?
Yeah, we'll let him on.
Okay. Nikky, would you like to let us know what's going on with number 5, however?
Oh, we're
Number
back.
5. Why are we jumping?
We're
No,
going
because-
back because we didn't talk about it before because he
I
interrupted
did
you before
wonder.
he'd even started.
James
That's
interrupted
a
someone.
new level of interruptedness.
Even before?
Yeah.
So it's a 2024 Indian Tamil language action drama film.
Tamil language.
Yeah.
I love the sound of that. It sounds exotic.
Brilliant. Number 3, Terrifier 3.
That's number 3.
Yeah, you've seen it, no?
No, it's number... I haven't seen 1 or 2 yet. I'm not going to watch 3 without watching 1 or 2 yet.
Oh, I thought you had seen that.
no,
sorry.
not yet, no.
Number 2, Joker, Folie à deux.
Yes, we are champions.
Do you know anyone else who's seen it?
No.
No, me
No.
neither.
No, and I
one's-
keep telling people, you should go and see it. And they go, oh no, I'm a bit scared. I've heard horrible reviews. And I go, you need to listen to our review about it. And they go, yeah, well, I will do. And every time
And
I
they
speak
go, do you do a podcast?
You haven't told me that.
50 fucking 1!
But you're right, I haven't bumped into anybody else.
Who's seen
Apart
it?
from Jenna, she's the only person I know who's seen it so far. If you have seen Joker Part 2, please get in contact with us. Good, bad or ugly reviews, we will take
Have
it
we had
all.
any reviews of it?
Nope.
Tut.
Exact-
Listening and viewing audience.
You tell them, PT.
We
It's been a
give you-
year, they should know
We
by
give. We just want a little bit back, don't we?
It's all about us.
It is.
Oh no, that's not right, is it?
No, hang on a minute. No.
It's about James.
That's not what you meant. It's all about James. That's
Yes,
it.
exactly.
Number 1. It's Transformers 1.
How weird is that?
Fucking mental.
But Joker 2 is
It's
number
Joker
2.
2. 1, 2, and 3 are 3, 2, and 1.
That's so freaky.
Fucking insane.
That's bonkers. Stop it now.
This isn't real, is it?
No, it's not. We're in the Matrix.
You've been talking normally.
I know.
1, 2, and 3 are 1, 2, and that's fucking insane.
Yes. However, I've heard some fantastic things about this film.
Me too. My daughter went to see it.
I'd actually booked to go and see
Interrupted me
it
again.
Where's
with
her
Tucker
review?
TV.
Yeah.
Didn't go and see it.
Oh,
So I was
did you
too
get a naughty
tired.
letter from the Odeon?
No, I'm sure I did do, but it's in spam somewhere. Sorry, Odin.
Did you not cancel it?
No, it's too late. You need to cancel it 2 hours in
2 hours
advance.
behind.
I know,
Tut,
it's
tut,
tight.
tut, tut.
It's a tight window, isn't it?
How many points have you got on your naughty list?
I think I've probably just got to one because I go so often in between me being naughty.
It doesn't get
It's-
scrubbed off.
Never.
No. Well, it lasts for 3 months. Your naughtiness.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
So 3 months on the
You read
naughty
all the
list.
details, don't you?
Well, yes, because I had quite a few points at the beginning.
Right.
But now I'm getting there. But yes, my daughter went to see it and she said it's absolutely brilliant storyline.
And did we get a review from
the
it?
The cast is excellent. Stop fucking interrupting me. And and she also said the animation is beautiful. That might have been the first thing I said, but you interrupted me, so maybe repeating myself. I'm really enjoying today.
I know, I've
It's-
noticed.
It's good.
It was very good. So,
No, she hasn't done a review because she doesn't like us.
I don't blame her.
Yeah.
She's got good taste.
She's got great taste.
Tucker TV, we're expecting a review from you for Transformers 1, please.
Oh, did Tucker TV go?
They did indeed.
You just dumped them.
Well,
Yeah.
happens. Happens. Right, there you go. That's your top 10. Out of the top 10, who will we recommend? Which films?
The substance, 100%.
Definitely.
You guys would see Beetlejuice, without a doubt.
Yeah.
The Joker, Joker, Folie à deux. Don't listen to the reviews. Don't think of it as a Batman movie. Think of it as a movie, and you'll enjoy it.
100%.
Yeah.
Think about it as a
And
movie that's
stay
been...
to the very end, because I
Yes.
didn't get the very end. This man told me the very end, and I
Yes.
was blown away.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Ho, ho, ho.
Anything else on there?
Jolly Green Giant. Nope.
Despicable Me 4 is just outside the top 10. That's been in there for 14 weeks.
Still hasn't made as much money as...
Yeah, Inside Out 2.
Number 14 is actually Gladiator, the re-release.
Uh-huh.
It snuck its way back to the
Gladiator
top
14
15.
it is.
I am loving your work today, James.
Oh, thank you very much.
Once in a blue moon, you're good.
I'll give him a week's notice.
Yes, exactly.
Carry on.
Yes, indeedy.
Right, so one of us went to see a film this week.
That's our top 10 rundown for the UK charts.
Oh, I didn't do that, did I? Give me 1 second. That is the charts in the UK and Ireland according to the British Film Institute for up to the week of the 14th of October 2024.
Thank you very much. He's on it now as well. He's on
really,
board.
fuck
I'm gonna
that.
grab some
He's on board.
pills
He's-
I made it up. I don't even know if that was the right people that I got it from.
He is on
It is now.
that door that's floating outside the Titanic.
James.
Yes,
Did you
PC
go to the
Repeat.
cinema this week?
I did go to see the cinema this week. I did book to go and see Transformers 1 Saturday. I didn't go and see that. But I did go to the cinema on Saturday night.
Because it was Mrs. James's birthday.
It was Mrs. James's birthday and she was desperately wanted to see this film. We went to see this film with Tucker TV,
Nice.
Hannah and young Richie Rich, who looks identical to Chris Pratt.
Okay.
Star-Lord. Anyway, he does indeed.
What would you like me to do?
Shout
with
out to start, blow him a kiss or something.
that? Ah,
There you go, job done.
which one?
Anyway,
Am I blowing out to Chris
Both.
Pratt?
on all four cheeks.
Tucker TV.
Yes.
Both.
Yeah, anyway. So this is Salem's Lot. We are all very, very familiar, I presume, with the story of Salem's Lot, the Stephen King classic vampire movie.
Yes.
Book. No? No. Okay. So it's the story plot of Salem's Lot is an ex. What you have here is somebody who lives in a tiny little town in Salem. Okay, and it's Drew Salem. So they've abbreviated Drew Salem to Salem, as in Salem's Lot. Okay, and what you have is you've got a middle-aged writer of books who used to live in Salem's Lot, and he's made a quite successful career as being a writer, and then he's returned back to Salem's Lot to get inspiration.
So sorry, what's the lot of Salem's Lot?
That's a very good question. I didn't ask them when I was watching it.
Okay.
I presume it's some sort of industrial or farming thing, or maybe it's some sort of.
Oh, so it's a farm.
Well, it's a village. It's a town. It's a small town. Okay, set in America.
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw a spanner in your works. I just thought that might be kind of a bit of an important thing as
No,
in
it's
the
not.
title. Okay.
Not in any shape or form. So this is obviously was made incredibly famous in the late 70s, early 80s with a mini television series starring David Soul.
Okay.
Okay. And at the time, it broke a few barriers down. At the time, it was super scary. At the time, Stephen King was still revered as a very scary writer of books back then, obviously, with Shining and so on and so forth. And obviously, when they made this into a television series in the late 70s, early 80s, it was quite terrifying for a lot of the viewers at the time.
Yeah.
Okay. In hindsight, it hasn't aged that the original Salem's Lot hasn't aged that well because obviously through special effects, writing, and David Soul couldn't act. Quite
Well,
frankly,
it's probably time for a remake then.
do you know what? And that's exactly what these guys thought. Do you know what? We're going to remake it, but we're not going to tell anybody about it. We're not going to make any trailers for it, and we're not going to publicise or advertise this movie in any shape or form because that's what happened. It literally just came underneath the radar, and Sophie and I accidentally came across it and went, "Oh, Salem's Lot on. Let's go and watch it." I mean, initially we were going, "Is this original? Is this not an original? Is it a remake?" And then we realised it was a remake, and there were some relevant stars in it, and so on and so forth. So. This is it fails to capture the depths of Stephen King's original story, I feel. I've read the book recently.
Can we have a little bit of plot, just so we know what the film? So I know what the film.
No, you're not going to
about?
get any plot at all. I don't know you are going to get plot. So as I was describing before, you've got the writer coming back to the town for inspiration. Now, the reason why I'm not going too deep into the plot because the way that this film is constructed is that it almost cuts out the first quarter of the book and almost starts mid-sentence.
Right.
Okay, so the credits come up and all of a sudden they're talking as if there's no intro,
Okay.
They're just chatting, and you've immediately got the main character.
A bit like the start of our podcast.
Yeah, who's literally just turned up and he went, "Hi, I'd like to rent a room, rent a house," and so on and so forth. "Oh yeah, you welcome to Salem's Lot? Are you welcome? Are you new from around here?" "No, I used to live here before." And he just goes into it straight away. There's no introduction. There's no character development. There's no depth to this movie at all, unfortunately, and that's the reason why I'm not giving you much plot.
Okay.
So you've got this young writer. He gets introduced to another family and you've got an older daughter there who's like mid 20s, early 30s daughter. They take a shine to each other, and a relationship blossoms between this writer and this female character as well. During this is happening, there's also a side story where there is a stranger who's opened up an antique store in Salem's Lot, and there's one or two rumours about him. Now in the book, it goes really deep into everybody's talking about him. Everybody is coming up with different scenarios, and you get a lot more backstory about the transportation of the goods to the antique store, how they're being rustled up with chains, and things are being held in basements and so on and so forth. Now they tip off this a little bit, and they do a small homage to they're employed to carry some produce to the cellar of this antique store.
So I've got chocolat in my head now.
Yeah,
From what you've just described.
yeah. You know what? If what's his name was in it? It was.
Which character are you talking about?
Jack Sparrow. He was in it.
Jack Sparrow.
He was in it. Anyway, going back to Salem's Lot. The main characters, or the main floating around characters, excuse the pun, are a group of children in this film, and in the book, and the vampire character is obviously stealing children, and there's all sorts of horrible things going on with these children, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't give away the end because I don't want to give away the plot for anybody who hasn't seen this film before. But unfortunately, as I mentioned before, the key characters lack proper development, making it difficult to connect, and it struggles with the vampire threat because you don't feel threatened by these vampires at all, unfortunately. And the introduction of vampires is so disjointed and so quick and so done without any fanfare or any theatre. You don't get warmed up. There's no kiss before you jump underneath the sheets. Unfortunately,
We're just waiting for Nosferatu, aren't we?
well, yeah,
I mean that's the trouble.
That's exactly what we're doing.
It just looks so epic.
That's exactly what we're doing. So despite being a vampire film, it lacks scare. It lacks definitely that lacks any gore at all, making you feel less impactful for any horror movies. And I think the issue that we have as regular cinema goers, we've seen so much intense filmmaking recently that this is so vanilla, this filmmaking, is that it just washes over you completely. And you
what a
don't
shame.
and you feel like you're not watching a film. What you feel like, and this is something that you've come across many times before, Peter, is that this could have easily been in an extended mini-series, very similar to the first reincarnation in the late 70s, early 80s, and it could allow the filmmaker to delve deeper into films, the themes and the characters. Unfortunately, it's just that, do you know what? Unfortunately for me, well, not unfortunately for me, Sophie and Hannah loved this film when it came out. And I think because it was a very Stephen King film, okay? Mm-hmm. And then when Stephen King is
the original series.
Yes, when Stephen King is producing a film himself personally, as well as writing it, when he has his grubby mitts on it, it just it had to happen sooner or later.
We were doing so well.
You do feel there's an element of lack of terror when Stephen King is involved with the filmmaking, okay?
When he is
involved, there's definitely a lack of terror involved with it, and there's almost an element of humour. If you think about the miniseries about the creepy stories and so on and so forth, there's always an element of humour added to it as well. And I feel that his involvement with this film, because don't forget the director of this film has done It, he's done all The Conjurings, he's done all so he's a modern horror filmmaker that's been brought back to the 80s to remake an exact replica of the original 70s, 80s film, which does it no justice in modern filmmaking.
So no wonder they slotted it into a week where there's nothing else to watch. So they just thought it might just get some regular cinema goers to go along and bump their numbers up a bit.
100%. I think if you are a Stephen King fan and you like the Stephen King movies, definitely go and see this. If you have been gorging on The Substance and other high-level horror movies, don't go and see this at the cinema. Wait till they're streaming it. I would recommend going to see Smile 2 instead at the cinema.
Okey-doke. Thank you very much.
There you go. My score is 5.4.
Oh yeah, I had a 5 in my head from your description of that.
It's a shame because it was very well acted. It was produced quite well, but I thought the editing was quite clunky, and I felt that it really just jumped in with no warm up at all, and it jumped out with no warm up.
And you haven't mentioned a single bit of soundtrack, which is very unusual.
And you know what? There was I don't remember any soundtrack to this at all.
Wow.
So yeah, it's to me it was vanilla. It was done well, but a vanilla. Any facts for us, Nikky?
5.7 on IMDb.
Yes.
If you haven't seen other Stephen King movies, do you think you can still see this one?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
What day would you watch it?
I'd watch it on a Tuesday night.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Answering the question about the lot, from what I can work out, lot doesn't mean anything. It's just that's
The name of the place.
Yeah, he's just named
fair
it
enough.
that.
So
I had the impression of it being like a cemetery lot.
Oh, I like that.
Could
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen that.
Absolutely.
That's what it meant.
That could be the case, but I can't actually find anything saying that.
Fair enough.
However, you may be correct.
Thank you for trying.
It's okay. Okay, so this is the fourth adaptation, Stephen King adaptation that William Sadler has starred in. Do you know what the other ones were?
No.
So it was The Shawshank Redemption, he played Hayward.
Right.
The Green Mile, he played Klaus Derrick.
Right.
The Mist, as Jim Grondin, and
Right.
obviously Salem's Lot as Constable Parkins Gillespie.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
And for those of you not listening and dyslexic, the word's adaptation.
What did I say?
Adaptation.
Potato, potato.
Hey, there you
She's
go.
done it wrong again. Embarrassing.
Yeah, I would say if you liked The Mist, the movie, you would like this. Or you like The Fog, the movie, you'd like this movie. Yes.
There are two films that are showing at the drive-in, and they are called The Drowning Pool at 7 p.m. and Night Movies at 9 p.m. Both films were released in 1975, which is the same year the original novel was published.
Oh, that's quite clever, isn't it?
Good research.
Yes.
They do a lot of things like that in Stephen King films, don't they?
They did, and they did change the end of the film just slightly from the book as well, so they made it a little bit more relevant. But still, yeah.
And the Matt Burke character wears a Boston Red Sox jacket, and Stephen King is a huge Red Sox fan.
I used to love those jackets when I was a kid. Always wanted a baseball jacket.
I never had
Did
one.
you?
I never,
Yeah,
I
felt
never
leather
wanted
sleeves. Fucking love them.
one. I never wanted one.
So cool.
Right.
Right.
I wanted a fisher's jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall
Anyway,
we,
You wanted a fisher's jacket.
you know, like a fishtail, moored jacket. Parker.
What's next?
Right then, so that is Salem's Lot out at the cinema at the moment. I've given it a 5.4 out of 10. We are now going to be moving over to what I like to call Petey's Homework. Petey's Homework. Petey's Homework. That's the theme tune.
I've only made a note about this, so could you possibly get IMDb up and do the whole where to get it, what the length of
Doing
the
it as
film
we
is,
speak.
what the certificate is, where they can watch all that.
So I've given Peter the fantasy film The Fall. Over to you, Peter. When did you watch this? What day of the week did you watch this?
I watched this over 2 nights.
Oh, Peter.
Oh, James.
Yes.
Okay, so you've given me some recommendations. So quite often when you've given me homework,
Yes.
you'll say, what is this film? So why don't you try that?
What is this film?
It's a Bulgarian porno without any sex in it. Is what it is.
Wow.
It is like
Okay,
when you get
interesting.
I'll put the pad down and wait. I'm waiting for this.
when you get the plumber that comes into the kitchen and goes, "I'm here to fix your washing machine,"
Yeah.
and then they end up going dumpy dumpy dumpy. That's what this film is, but without the dumpy 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 bit.
Wow,
This is-
What film are you watching?
I've been
I don't
contacting
know.
the wrong
I don't
plumber.
actually know what film I watched. 'Cause
Okay.
I don't understand this film.
Hang on a minute.
I'm looking forward to this because you didn't know that I'd seen it to start with.
Okay,
and,
so-
and you didn't know what my reaction was. And
Okay.
so we're going to have a discussion about this, James.
We are indeed.
Because I do not understand what happened, because I watched it over the last 2 evenings. I do not understand what happened the last 2 evenings.
Right. Okay. So I just want to ensure that you've watched the same film.
Yeah,
that
it's
I've asked
it's
you
the
to watch.
one with the bandit, with the red mask.
I'll be talking about. We're talking about a young child in a
Yeah.
hospital.
Yeah.
And then you've got the narrator.
Yeah. So can I tell you about an argument that I had with my wife while we were watching this, the second half of it last night? I said to Pauline at one
Yes.
point, I said, "Is this getting a little bit paedophile-y for you?" And she went, "What?"
Right.
And I went, "Do you not find the relationship between the main character and the girl a little bit like
Wow.
grooming?"
Wow.
And Pauline went, "No, why?" And I said,
no,
"Okay,
nor did I."
imagine this young girl is your daughter, Pauline.
Yes.
And you go to the hospital to go visit her because she's got a broken arm.
Yes.
And you find her in bed with a 40-year-old man.
Yes.
Cuddling asleep.
Yes.
How would you feel about that? She'll be fucking fuming. I said, yes, so would I, because he's clearly a paedophile. And Paulie went, he is not a paedophile.
I agree.
As the 6-year-old girl leans over and kisses him full on the mouth.
Yes.
That happens in this film.
It does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why did you make me watch this?
It's a fantasy film.
Who the fuck is this film
fantasy?
for? Who is this for?
I really liked it.
Okay, we just need to discuss what the fuck it was and who it's for.
Well, you got the assembly of all of the main characters, and it's almost like a pre-assembly before the Avengers almost. And you got these really interesting characters, and you go on little mini adventures, and they have to solve certain things, and they have to save people, and they go back. It's a storytelling. So what you've got here is you've got people in a hospital who are keeping each other happy by telling each other fantasy stories.
Yeah.
However,
that is what we got. Okay,
it's
so
exactly
the film starts.
Yes.
And there's a train in black and white.
That's right.
And there's
yeah.
Nick Seaton with his empty cups. And
actually, it was Simon.
Oh, it was Simon, wasn't it? Yeah, sorry.
You had the flowers.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then we move to hospital, and the fall is basically because the two main people in the hospital have had a fall.
Yes.
And one of them's in bed, and his back's broken, I think, and
That's right.
and he's very uncomfortable in bed. And then this fucking weird girl turns up, who's fallen off an orange tree and broken her arm, and she's got like one of those poles holding her arm up in the air like that. And she's got this voice which is really annoying and really uncomfortable to listen to, and actually really uncomprehendable that I've had to rewind quite a lot of the things that she says. She goes, and I'm just like, what did you just fucking say? She said, and I'm
Did
just
you
like,
not have the subtitles up?
I don't do that. No. So I found her annoying to start with, and everything.
This is a good start.
Everything about her, and then the guy starts grooming her, and then decides to start telling a story.
He does.
To entertain her, because she's quite sad and lonely in the. But the story that he tells her is basically just a means to get her to steal morphine for him, so he can take drugs and go to sleep.
That's right.
And that happens, and the story that he's telling is quite clearly morphine driven.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, so there are some very Picasso-esque, beautiful moments of cinematography.
There is. This. I mean, those scenes in the desert are breathtaking.
No, they're not.
They are.
No, they're not. They're trying to be breathtaking. There's one bit where there's a cloud and a flag and a thing, and it turns into a face.
That's right.
That's quite nice. That was quite Picasso-esque.
It was.
But I didn't think it was as good as the bloke who did it thought it was. I thought it was the most pompous, self-admiring load of shit I've seen in a long, long time. I don't very often get angry with you, James, but this was annoying beyond belief.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't the worst film I've ever seen, but I didn't need to see this as homework. There are much better uses of my time. I'd rather you taught me to crochet than watch that shit.
I disagree with you completely. I think it's a beautiful... I watch that film when I'm ill. Okay, if I've got a bit of a cold...
You're ill to fucking watch that film.
If I've got a bit of a cold, okay, I will put that film on and I'm a chicken soup.
Yeah.
And watch it and I go...
Bring all your paedophile friends round. It's not like that.
At all.
I mean, I was being slightly goady with Pauline.
Slightly?
When I said to her, but she kisses him on the mouth. He's
it's a
grooming.
fantasy film.
She's 6.
It doesn't matter. You've seen things far too black and white.
I don't think so.
I think you are. You are. So... It wasn't my greatest choice for you, then, I take it.
No, it was just unnecessary. It was just, I mean, I don't understand who would want to watch that. It's not for children. I mean, you suggested that my kids would sit down and watch that. I don't want them to watch stuff about heavy morphine, taking and child molestation. It's just not what we do at our house at the weekend.
I think you're making it sound a lot darker, a lot seedier than it is. A really, really, for those of you listening out there, it is a beautiful... aesthetically beautiful film that has some breathtaking scenery, some fantastic, beautiful little story plots with it, and it's just the pace of it is fantastic. The execution of the special effects is done so lightly.
How long is it?
It is 1 hour 57 minutes.
It's 2 hours
It's
Yes.
rated R.
of basically
Yes.
a Grimm's Tale nursery
It
rhyme.
is, yeah, absolutely.
2 hours of watching a man in a mask and a cape.
Yes. On a horse.
God, it's so unbearably
His hat
long.
was amazing.
Whose hat?
He did.
Loads of them had hats.
He did.
The Indian guy had a wicked hat
He did.
and a wonderful pair of eyebrows.
He did indeed.
Yeah. So there's stuff I liked about this film.
Very good.
There was some good stuff about it. I've done this review to be slightly controversial.
I've noticed.
To be fair.
Yes.
But I've quite enjoyed that.
I've noticed.
But there are some good bits about this film.
Okay.
There are. It's not all. It's not
Let's
all.
reset,
It's not all
shall we?
awful.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I've got.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a weird story, isn't it?
It's not a normal story.
I don't get the same joy and warmth out of it, and I'm sorry about that because I can see you're quite pissed off with me for hating it. But I hated it.
Listen. It's in the eye of the beholder, darling.
Of course it is, because
In
reviewing films is subjective.
100%. 100%. And what I was trying to do is I was trying to bring you down.
You did.
bring you down an alleyway of beauty, away from our normal mental illness, our normal horror.
I did get that. I got
And
that.
I wanted to continue with the beauty of filmmaking that had a more whimsical sort of element to it.
This felt like a dubbed Italian children's nursery
It
rhyme.
could be Spanish. It could be dubbed
I mean,
easily.
is it an English film?
It is.
It could be lip synced and you just wouldn't know because it's all
It could
done in
easily
such
be dubbed.
Yeah.
And in a way that I quite like it. It feels very European.
It feels incredibly European,
Yes.
and I hated that about
Come on,
it.
you must admit the costumes were spectacular.
No, they weren't. They were been made for a school play production.
I disagree with you 100%.
Well, you're wrong.
Yeah, well, there you go. So there you go. That's Peter's review of The Fall. What mark are you going to give it?
Oh no. Okay, so this is the footnote of my review, is that I know that this is an incredibly binary film, and I think we need to get some more reviews on it, and I think more people need to watch this film.
Yes.
And let me know what they think, because this is actually. I know that you love it, and I really don't like it. My score's 3.5, and let's see if subjective reviews can bring it back to a
I
decent
like that.
score.
We're throwing it out to the audience.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
giving it a 9.
That's all right. Okay.
Nearly didn't make it to a year with Peter. Hey?
Exactly.
It's actually 7.8 on IMDb.
Is it? Listen, I get shit wrong all the time, but I fucking hated it.
It's inspired by a Bulgarian movie called Yo Ho Ho.
Fuck off! Are you serious?
It says this movie is inspired by a Bulgarian movie
Porno.
Yo Ho Ho, which is 1981.
Yo ho.
How the fuck did I draw Bulgaria out of that?
I have no idea. So carry on.
The film's title is in reference to stuntman Roy Walker's accident.
That's right.
He temporarily lost his ability to walk after a dangerous fall that occurred while shooting a movie, and the film contains numerous references to classic Hollywood and dangerous stunt work. And the magic.
Celebrating our 52nd episode.
Yeah, it's a week too early.
way too
Yeah.
early.
Too early.
The magic word googly.
Oh, yeah, googly,
that
googly, googly.
Alexandra repeats in the movie is also the name of the production company.
Oh, that's quite nice. Have you got one more fact that's going to put a smile on people's face before we say goodbye?
Let's have a look.
I'm just going to think of something now.
The Princess Bride, 1987, The Wizard of Oz, 1933, and Baccara, 1992, served as inspiration for the film.
Do you know what? I could totally see that. Yeah, Wizard of Oz, definitely.
Yeah, so yeah, it is. There is the feel of it is quite Wizard of Ozzy. Apart from the fact that it hasn't got the story, the plot, the characters, the actors, the uniforms, the scenery, and the red ruby slippers. Other than that, it's exactly the same.
Exactly the same, isn't it? Or the little people.
Yep, gone.
Is that it?
That's it.
So 3.5 off Peter.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Sorry, it was a
unfortunate.
dud, mate.
It's a dud. Okay. So, shall we move on to next week then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, so week 52.
Week 52, mate.
Week 52. Okay, the movies I'm looking forward to seeing next week are the second part of the Smile horror movie franchise.
What do they call
Smile
that?
2.
Brilliant.
Weird that. And then
What do they
obviously
call the new,
Smiling
new
again.
Transformers animation? The first one they've done in a while.
and Transformers 1.
Brilliant.
Yes. And then we've got The Apprentice coming out next week as well.
Alan Sugar made a movie.
You don't know about this?
This is Trumpy.
Ooh.
Is it Trumpy?
Yes.
I've seen the trailer for it. I
You've seen the
just didn't
trailer?
know that was what it was called.
Yeah.
It looks fucking brilliant.
It looks Jeremy Strong looks absolutely fantastic in it, and Sebastian Stan looks superb as Donald Trump. Apparently, Trump has got in contact with the production company.
I was so confused last week with that film review that you did, and which one was who the actors were.
Oh,
and
yes, you were.
I was just like, how can he play Donald Trump? That's just. I mean, that's,
Not with a face like that.
Adam,
Or maybe with a face like
Adam,
that.
what's his face? I was just like, oh, come on, poor bloke. I mean, it's.
So apparently Donald Trump has been in contact with the production company and the director in reference to the film being made, and he's expressed his displeasure, wanting the film to either be pulled or changed. And the director's response was to explain, well, this is freedom of speech, and this is what you're encouraging.
Beautiful.
Happy days.
Yeah.
So these are the films we're going to be watching next week on week 52. If you have any reviews, particularly Tucker's and Mr. Lawrence Ratcliffe, if you've got any films you've seen that you haven't got back to us, and let us know. Lawrence has recommended a film to me which I have seen, which I think is a film called What's Inside Us. I will be reviewing next week. That is a streaming film on Netflix.
Ah, cool.
And I'll also be reviewing Platform 2 as
Maybe
well.
you could do that as a little advert or a little post this week on Instagram, so people could watch it for next week.
I think
and
it's a
leave
great
us
idea.
a review.
That's a fantastic idea.
So it's our 52nd week next week, and we would really like some audience participation.
That'd be
So
fantastic.
if you would like to do film reviews of anything you've seen recently,
Well, over the past year, maybe.
yeah, absolutely. Favourite film of the year?
Do you know what? I think the three of us should present our favourite film of the year individually next week.
Nice. Just quickly, some films that are being re-released on the 19th. So what's that? Saturday.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
I was just getting confused about what day Thursday was. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
Saturday. Back
Yep.
to the Future 2 is being re-released. Tomorrow, the 18th, Hocus Pocus is being re-released.
Ooh.
Just in time for Halloween. And then We Live in Time, is that the one you just referenced before we started recording? The Netflix one?
Oh, what's inside? That's the Netflix
Oh
one.
no, that was the Netflix
Yeah.
one. Okay, that's fine.
There you
Carry
go.
on.
There you go. What?
Did you say my homework?
No, he didn't.
No, I haven't said your homework. And I've got it
You
here.
have to
So
rewatch.
normally I've forgotten what my homework is by the time we
Yeah.
leave this,
Yeah.
but I was just like, I've never forgotten it during the podcast.
I'm
before.
giving you the full 2. I'm giving the return.
The
full
trip
guy.
over.
I'm giving you a 2017 film this time.
Okay.
It is in. It's a run up to Halloween. Obviously, it is on Prime. You can stream it free on Prime. It's a British horror movie. I would put it in the same ranks as Hammer House Horror, and it's a film called Ghost Stories.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Now, what I love about this, I really adore a good horror movie that's got several stories inside it.
Beautiful.
Okay, this is one of those beauties. Okay,
Cool.
It's star-studded. It has got a fantastic cast. It's basically British royalty in filmmaking within this film. It's think Black Mirror, think Hammer House Horror. All is mixed up together with a fantastic cast.
Boom.
Bish bash bosh.
It's available currently on BBC iPlayer, Amazon Prime if you have a subscription, and Google Play.
There you go. So it's called Ghost Stories.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Don't be giving
There
it a bad score.
There we have it. So, Nikky McNicky, how
Yes.
would people get in contact with us if they want to give us their reviews?
So they can comment on our YouTube videos or on our Facebook and Instagram. They can make a little comment. They can slide into our DMs. I have a certain criteria for my DMs, so you might not make it through. If you're listening on one of the streaming platforms, there is a little thing on there that says send us a message, and you can send us through a text message, but please leave your name because it doesn't tell us who you are.
It doesn't. Peter, people wanted to watch us or listen to us through the power of podcasting or videos. How would they do it?
They'd watch us on YouTube or on Facebook, or they would download our podcast from whatever their favourite podcast streaming platform is.
Your face went all weird when you did that.
I know that you put real pressure on me to do this right every week now.
I know.
and I panic a little bit.
Do you know what it's a bit like? I tell you, do you know what it's a little bit like? It's a little bit like when the star comes out. Do you know what we should do? ever so often we should get a local celebrity to come along and come out of a curtain and give out how they can find us on Facebook and Spotify.
He's been watching Strictly, that's why he's saying that.
Oh, right, okay.
We should do that.
I think we should prepare it out.
Popcorn Pundits.
Podcast.
Pete loves the fall.
Week.
50.
Wasn't expecting that
Week.
shit, were you?
James, week.
51!
You actually looked quite panicked when I started slagging the fall